Hey, this is Greg, and welcome back to the preparedness series. You know, this is about our eighth or ninth in this series, and we have talked about how to come up with money for food storage. We've talked about how you don't really have to worry that much about expiration dates. Now let's talk about developing a food storage plan. Okay? Now, when somebody first gets turned on to preparedness, it's really easy for a lot of people to just run out and buy a case of MREs or a whole bunch of freeze dried foods. Now, there's nothing wrong with those things as products, but they do have a place in your preparedness plan, especially if you decide to plan for more long-term events. But as far as a short-term event, they're really kind of a waste of money unless you're in one of those areas where you have to be more mobile. And the storage dates, especially on the MREs, are not what you think they are unless they're perfectly kept in the environment that they need. Okay, so we're gonna talk about how you actually develop a plan. If you've got couple $100 laying around that you can just go out and throw out on whatever, then you may not have to do this. But I'm telling you from experience that if you don't develop a plan and you're just buying things here, yonder, and there, then if something does happen and you need to pull from those stores, you're going to wind up with 15 cans of corn and 1 can of sweetened condensed milk, and that's all you're going to have in your storage. Now, will that keep you alive? Yeah. Is that going to be very tasty for anybody involved? No. Now, before we get into that, there's another thing that I want to cover on food storage. I cannot tell you how many people that I have heard say, I'm going to buy stuff that stores good. I'm going to buy this. Well, does your family eat that? No. Well, then why are you buying it? If they need to, they'll eat it if they have to. Okay. That is true. But especially if you have younger children, wouldn't you much rather buy stuff that you know that they're going to eat anyway, rather than try to force them to eat stuff that they don't like? Okay, so we're going to start right there. In order to do this properly, you actually need to keep a food journal. Once again, we're going back to the notebook. And all you got to do is every time that your family eats something, you write it down. Now on this little list, I've got corn, I got pasta sauce, I got beef stew, I got pancakes, I got pork chops, I got Brussels sprouts, and every time that you eat something, you're going to throw it on there. Every time. You know, whatever. Hard candies, things like that. You're gonna jot it down. I would really like you to do this for at least 2 weeks. Okay, and then as you do that, everything that will easily store long term, put a star by. Like canned corn, that will store for a long time. Now, you know, corn on the cob, it's not going to. Here's another thing, which we will talk about energy later on. But right now, I want you to focus on things that do not have to have refrigeration. So, corn, pasta sauce, the canned beef stew, pancakes if you get the powdered, but then you gotta have milk. So you leave it off. Okay? Pork chops is a no-go. Brussels sprouts is a no-go. I've never eaten Brussels sprouts that were canned, so I don't know how good that would be. And you just steadily add to it. Now, over the course of 2 weeks, you may find that certain items you eat more than once. Every time that you eat it in at least a 2 week period, you put another star beside it if it is storable. If it's not, you put a check mark beside it for each time that you've eaten it in your 2 week period. Okay? After you've done that, you've got you a really good idea of the things that your family consumes. That's when you can start actually building your food storage. You're going to buy the things that have the most stars but you're going to buy them in proportion. Now, the way that I like to do it is, if corn has 5 stars, I'm going to buy 2 of those, and then 1 of something that has a 4 star, and then 1 of something that has a 3 star. 2 stars and 1 stars, I kind of leave them out. So what it will look like is, if we do corn, we're gonna have 2 corn, 1 pasta sauce, and 1 beef stew. Okay, and then we'll do another corn, another pasta sauce, and then another corn, another pasta sauce, and another beef stew. Now, as far as me, I like to focus on whole meals in a can. I like when I'm doing food storage, I like the beef stews, I like the chicken and dumplings, I like the soups, those type of things, because you open 1 can, you've got 1 meal. It's cheaper to buy meal components, beans, corn, pasta sauce, or tomato sauce or whatever, and then you can combine those to make a meal, and it's going to feed more people. So, and you're going to have recipes like canned chicken. We buy canned chicken about 3 or 4 times a month, because my wife fixes chicken salad sandwiches to take with her for lunch. During the school year, it's actually more, because she fixes lunch for my daughter when she's at school. So by keeping this journal, and realize that this is just like everything else, this is going to change throughout the year. By keeping this journal, it will help you develop a plan that's going to work best for you. Okay? So now, long-term storables, frequently used. If I had a can of beets in my house, the zombies would eat those beets before we would. Okay? Not that there's anything wrong with beets, it's just nobody in my family will eat them. Alright? I hope this helped you out. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm hoping to be back on my regular schedule next week. This week's been kind of insane, and I look forward to hearing from you. How do you develop your food storage plan? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe. Step by step, we're bringing real back. Have a great day. Bye-bye.